Okay, now students, we're going to pick up exactly where we left off from the very first video we did in Pascal. We're still calling this first practice, and we were saying form is a string. Alright, and we had var, which basically was stating variables, and we're not so much dealing with declaring variables right now at this moment. Alright, we'll soon deal with that, but I want to make sure we're comfortable with this first. If you notice, we were looking at outputting data to the computer screen because that's important when you're writing programs. As a matter of fact, we all know that when we're downloading software and we're using them, whether apps such as software applications, apps, all right, WhatsApp, Messenger, Google Classroom, Microsoft Office, Word, any one of those programs, Windows, Android, all of those are software but for different purposes. At some level we do interact with it. Instagram apps, all of those stuff. So Snapchat. So you as a programmer, you will need to interact with the user, the end user at some point in time. Still not declaring variables so much yet, It's just, let's just imagine variables as containers really to hold data. So we ran this program last class, and here's what happened. We would write to the screen, good morning students, which class is this? The students would then now enter a word. Let's, for example, we're at Ocherius High. So let's say 7 Ocherius High School. Alright, grade 7 class. Press enter. That is accepted and we're gone. Gone about our business, our program runs. Happy Easter holiday. Good. Everything is fine. But what if we want to output that again to the screen? Let us say, for example, I now want to write, and then I put, or let's say write Ellen, and I want to put this to the screen. Are you sure this is form class, single quote, comma, and then I put form, because remember, form is now equal to whatever data we entered when we were asked. Alright, and I have a semicolon here. So remember now, form, the person typed in and they put in 7 Ocho Rios High School. So we say now, are you sure this is, I'm in insert mode. Alright, are you sure this is form class 7 ORHS? That's basically what we're doing. So let's run this program now and see what happens. We're only dealing with input and output right now. So we say 7 again ORHS, and they come with the output. Are you sure this is form class 7 ORHS? Right? Let's look at a few things that we did here right now, how this came to be. When we are accepting, when as a computer you want to read data, sorry, when you want to read data into the computer, you have to have containers. You have to prepare containers, areas in memory, memory which basically talking about primary memory, RAM, where the computer can store that data. Right? So form is one such memory areas we're entering. I will call it variable because it is a memory area where the data will change in this compartment, in this container, during the running of the program. During the course of the program execution, the data inside form will change. It can be 8 Columbus. It can be 9 Mary Magdalene. It can be 7 Andrew Holness. Whatever variable we want to use, we put whatever data want to put in that variable in this container, it will change. So string refers to data that we will not do calculations with. We're going to get into other data types very, very soon. That's more like next class. We're just focusing on inputting and outputting data for this class for today. So we have 2 output statements here at line number 7. and line number 9. And we have one input statement where we're reading data from the user. Alright, there's something I want to show you primarily with write and write line. Let me end this console here. Press enter and get out of that. We soon come to line number 9 a bit. Again, notice when I say write good morning students, which class is this? When you run the code, if you notice, the cursor is in the execution area, is right in the same line. Good morning students, which class is this? It's right. So you put 7, let us say for example 7 monkey, just for example. Program runs, that's it. Notice the difference between now when we have write line, write ln. And just to be clear, I'm gonna put a capital L there so nobody get mixed up and thinks I'm writing write IN. It is write L. L as in Larry, love, lace, lovely. It is an LN. So that's why I put a capital L there. When I put write LN, notice what happens. Oops, shouldn't have done that. Come back here and put back right here. So yes, I have to stop the code. Let me put back right here. So write ln, put this back. Yes, sorry about that. And let's run the code now. Alright, we have a problem. Alright, and let me, did I forget anything semicolons? No, but write ln. Alright, I guess writing the capital N also would pose some problems a while ago. Let me run the program. The expected identifier found. Hold a second. Let me sort this error out. 1 second. Alright, what that error was about was that there was another write line somewhere. When I put it there, it was accidentally moved to somewhere else, right? But let's continue. Alright. Now if you notice, I have write ln right here. I run that, and here now what happens? The cursor now is in the line below. I have to now enter 7, let's say for example B, right there. It's in the line below. If I were to have now write alone, let me move this, write alone, and I run the program, the cursor is now in the same line. So I put 7, let's say 7A. So there's a slight difference between write and write line. When you have write line, what the computer will do is execute right to the screen whatever is within the single quotes to the screen, and then move the cursor to the next line. That's when you have write line. If you have write, it allows the cursor to stay in the same line where you can continue entering data while the program is being executed. That is the difference between write and write line. At line number 9, what we did was to write a message onto the screen, just like we did in line number 7. We wrote a message to the screen, but then we have a comma that said form. So if we entered 7A, for example, form has now as data within itself, a variable, a container, a memory area, has 7A, 7B, 7 wholeness, 7 Jamaica, whatever the case might be, 11 Pope, whatever it may be, it will produce the data that is inside the container. That's all it really does. But we have to separate the statement being displayed on the screen from the variable with a comma. So the comma here in orange, we can just type continually. Alright, so that's what line number 9 is doing. Okay, let me run this again. I prefer to use write most of the time. So most of the times you'll notice I might use write instead of write line. So let's say for example, alright, let us say 11 Governor General, GG. It now writes, good morning students, which class is this? 11 GG. Are you sure this form class, are you sure this is form class 11 GG? That's it. One more thing. Still, if you notice, because I'm interacting with the user, I put a space here after the question sign and the single quotes. Notice that space? If I don't have that space there, and let me remove this one as well. Notice how funny it looks now. I run the program. And let's use 11. You notice how close the cursor is to 11? To the question, which class is this? And I put now 11. It doesn't read like a normal sentence structure. So that's why I had the spaces there. And if you notice, here again, no spaces there. So it looks like just one word. So these are things that you do to fine tune your program. Put back a space there, put back a space there, and run this again. Those are things you do as you get a little bit more comfortable with writing programs. And I can put a space here too, 12 Pascal. I can put a space there as well if I wish to. And it produces it, 12 Pascal. So this is how we simply use input and output statements or commands, giving an idea in Pascal language. And we will look at this some more as we go on and practice. But next class, we are going to focus on variables and constants, and the data types thereof. So we'll look at string, boolean, character, real, integers. We'll look at those in more detail next time around. Have a good day, guys.